What is going on, guys? It's your boys, the Know It All Talk Balls podcast, back again with another podcast episode from outside of the couch area. Not filmed the same day, just wear the same clothes because we do laundry.
And it's the same weather. It's the same everything.
It's the same everything, but not the same day.
No.
So we are back with another football Twitter delusional takes episode.
So from what you've told me, it's going to be a little less delusional, but
so I feel like towards the end of the season, people are still delusional, but they're harder to find because now, delusional people realize that their takes are bad, and so they start deleting them and stuff. What we're getting now is a lot of copium from fan bases. For example, Arsenal fans are on that copium, man. They're on the copium that they might not win the league. Real Madrid had a great week of copium after the 1-1 draw with Man City. I don't know why Madrid fans suddenly, it's the end of the world to draw 1-1 against Manchester City.
It is. For Madrid, but Madrid fans are also some of the harshest fans I think out there.
Yeah. I mean, they booed Casillas.
Yeah, a club legend. Yeah.
So
but let's get into it.
Yeah.
What do you got for me?
Instead of doing like your rating of delusional, I just want your thoughts.
But if they are delusional, I will say so.
Yeah, you will. So we're gonna start with a Fede Valverde quote. This isn't even from Twitter.
This is from Fede Valverde, from the mouth of the man himself. Yeah.
Winning the 15th Champions League for Real Madrid will be incredible, as it will match with my jersey number. That's his quote.
What a guy.
Honestly.
When you're like, I'm going to win my club's 15th Champions League, and then, it'll match my jersey number. It doesn't mean anything else to me.
I just find it so hilarious that Madrid has won so many that this is their ambition now.
Yeah.
They're like, should we win the 15th because it makes us a greater club, or for Fede Valverde's jersey number?
He's trying to hype them up in the dressing room. Like, guys, we have to win, because then this number will match this number. Like,
get sold next season. So that was Fede Valverde.
Yeah.
Baller. I love the guy. Then we start now with Real Madrid copium, as I like to call it. This is from a little account called Kaiser, with a profile picture of Toni Kroos.
okay.
The tweet that he's responding to is from ESPN and says, Kevin De Bruyne faced up against Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, Fede Valverde at the Bernabeu and walked out as man of the match.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just on that alone, personally, I didn't think De Bruyne was a man of a match. I thought he
Same.
was.
I think
thought
he had
Ederson maybe deserved it, or Kyle Walker I thought was very good against Vinny.
I think Vinny Jr. or...
Maybe, or Kroos also had a good game.
Camavinga also had a
left back,
good game.
Was it because he scored a screamer? For sure. But then Kaiser, Real Madrid fan,
What's
like I said, casual pleaser. Do nothing all game, score a goal, take the award. It's easy when you're a striker masquerading as a midfielder. No midfielder of mine comes out of a Champions League game with 20-odd passes in 90 minutes. So, of course, I replied to him and I edited a 2-1 picture. Here, I can show it to you and we can put it up as well. I edited this 2-1 Man City, Vinny Jr. KDB didn't complete 20 passes, 90 plus 5, and I replied to him. Did not respond to me. But what do you think about that? About someone saying that De Bruyne doesn't deserve the respect he gets because he's not a midfielder?
I think he's almost the quintessential attacking midfielder. That's exactly what he is. And the fact that he scores goals to go along with it is just because he's so good, and he has a monster of a left foot.
Yeah.
The fact that he didn't have a great game, and that's probably why he didn't get 20 passes or whatever this guy's trying to say, which is a load of shit. But no, I think De Bruyne is a midfielder through and through, but he's just transformed that position. I think it's pretty fair to say that
the roaming 8 position, he's made his own. Basically.
He does things in that position, and with his feet and with the ball, it's incredible to watch when he whips some of those passes. It is just, and it doesn't matter if you have 20 passes. If 5 of them are assists, then who cares?
And also, we're talking about a guy who has 9 goals in all competitions this season.
He's not a striker.
He's not a second. He's not like Dele Alli when he scored close to 20 goals that year, where he was clearly a secondary striker.
And he's not playing in Turkey, so that rules him out.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was quite interesting. The hate De Bruyne got from Real Madrid fans was insane, and which I thought was quite funny, considering that Vinicius Jr. did exactly the same thing. Completely against the run of play, gets the ball, scores a screamer. And then De Bruyne did the same thing in the second half.
Yeah.
But now apparently it's not okay when
Yeah.
you're not a Madrid player.
You know what De Bruyne's goal reminded me of? Do you know that the Champions League goal that I think Steven Gerrard scored against, I think it was Olympiacos.
That insane goal outside the box? Yeah.
What a hit, son!
Yeah,
what
yeah.
a hit!
Yeah.
Reminded me so much of that. Gets laid back to him, just absolutely leathers it. And it was, Steven Gerrard scored it when his team needed it.
Yeah.
De Bruyne scored it when his team needed it. And just the celebrations from the De Bruyne goal were so... I was like, I don't want Man City to win just because I'm a Man United fan, but I also do not like Real Madrid. And I almost turned in that game. I was like, I kind of want Man City to win because I think they deserve to win this Champions League at this point, because to watch that team play football is just something else.
I agree. I think that big game players like De Bruyne show up in the big moments, and De Bruyne I think is not a moments player because he's consistently good throughout the year.
Good,
like he's so good, and the games that he has off games, he still walks out of the Bernabeu with a goal. But then we continue. Then I started going down Mr. Kaiser's account because I could see that he was smoking that.
You got a bit
copium.
angry, huh?
He was on the copium, man. Like he was on it. So only on football Twitter. This is a two-parter. The first part I completely agree. Only on football Twitter you'll find people trying to use trophies and awards against Luka Modric, which makes no sense because Luka Modric literally won everything bar the World Cup, and he's almost won it with Croatia.
I
So
don't get it.
Basically, people were saying De Bruyne is better than Modric, and because he has more impact, and it doesn't matter that Modric has more trophies, which like
I don't know that you can immediately say that De Bruyne has more impact than Modric either. They're different players.
Exactly.
Modric is a player, when you put him in the field with Toni Kroos and with Casemiro and with Tchouaméni and Camavinga, that you're able to control the midfield, because I have never seen calmness on the pitch like you have with Modric.
Him and Kroos.
Yeah. Any situation most situations he comes out with the ball. You have defender here, and here. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. So that was the first half. I thought great tweet. Then he said, "Oh, and by the way, my midfielder," so referring to De Bruyne, "doesn't camp in the penalty box to stat pad goals and assists."
Does Modric do that?
No, does De Bruyne do that in general? Does he stat pad?
No.
What? You don't stat pad when you have 9 goals in all competitions. Also, an assist. How do you stat pad an assist?
By having Haaland in your team.
Like, by what? By just standing next to the goal line and making sure somebody comes so you can lay it off? Like, what is stat padding in football?
That's ridiculous. I think the only the stat padding, you're looking at Pele, Ronaldo, that kind of thing. You move to Al Nassr and you get 50 goals, and then you're like, oh yeah, I got 1,000 career goals or whatever.
Goals, baby.
600 goals in friendlies. Like, okay, but whatever. Like, that's stat padding, This isn't basketball. You can't stand by the board and get a rebound to bag your triple-double.
Oh, my midfielder doesn't stand in the box and stat pad. I was like, bro, you're talking about a guy who has less than 15 goals in all competitions. Like, what do you mean stat pad?
He sucks.
What do you mean stat pad? And then I kept going.
Yeah.
Because, bro, I think... if you know Kaiser personally, please reach out. Like, he needs to be off the copium.
Get some help.
He's addicted, man, to the copium. Like, feel let down by the result. Fair enough. 1-1 at home. You probably don't want to go away to the Etihad with that.
No.
We let them off the hook because of a freak sequence and a freak goal. That's basically what Vinicius Jr. did, but whatever. They are not better than us. Madrid had this game in their pocket. Anyway, we'll finish the job next week. I can't wait until City win, and I'm just gonna go reply to this guy.
And I think Man City played better that game as well.
I thought so too. I thought we were Madrid had spells of dominance, especially I feel like after they scored and up until De Bruyne scored, that was basically all Madrid. But I think a guy who's getting away with a lot of, and maybe this is my delusional take, I thought Benzema had a stinker of a game. He was awful.
I mean, Benzema and Haaland were non-existent.
Was non-existent. Haaland had 2 whatever chances. I don't think Benzema shot at goal. I don't remember.
I think he had. I can remember a block shot.
Offside.
Yeah, and the
header that was offside and the block shot.
Yeah.
That's that DS put him to, or was it DS or Akanji? I don't know, but that somebody blocked it. I thought Benzema was awful against City, and Haaland as well. I completely agree. But yeah, Kaiser, get off the copium, bro. Now we move on to, Busquets has recently retired, legend of the game. To some, the greatest center defensive midfielder of all time, and you can't really question it, I think. And obviously, once the big football accounts are tweeting, once you saw this trio, you knew it was over, and it was a picture of Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta, right? And then people started saying, like, don't think anything is more obvious in the sport than these three being the GOAT midfield trio. And then people started replying to that.
Of course, yeah.
We have Sam Webbo at LFC, at Liverpool Football Club,
Okay.
WXBB.
What's he got for me?
Some people wouldn't get it. Fabinho, Wijnaldum, and Navi Keita. Like, I don't know if this is a joke, but it made me laugh a lot.
I think that's got it. That has to be a joke. That has to be a joke. That's too deluded to not be a joke. Like, what, Genie played for, like, he had 2 good years at Liverpool, I reckon.
Yeah.
Naby Keita, are you
He's
kidding
been
me?
awful since he stepped foot on the Anfield.
Yeah.
He's been bad.
And Fabinho as well, 2 good years.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
No, I think the only midfield trio that comes anywhere close to that first one is Modric, Kroos, Casemiro.
Well, see, that's what I wanted your take, because then all the Real Madrid fans started replying to the tweet saying was never at their level. They were never at their level, by the way. Like, and pointing, like, the 5 Champions League trophies and stuff.
I'm gonna agree with the Real Madrid fans on this
I
one.
kind of do as
yeah.
well.
I
man.
think as a midfield trio, I think Iniesta on his own is an incredible midfielder.
He might be better than all of them.
I think he's the best out of those 3,
yeah.
I would say.
I think Xavi, Modric, and Iniesta to me are like in that tier. Like, I think Modric might be the best midfielder of our generation. Like,
Yeah.
Him with like just center mid, like not counting De Bruyne because Kaiser might get pissed. I think Modric, Iniesta, Xavi are up there.
Yeah.
And I just like what Casemiro and Modric bring more than
Yeah,
the
I
other
think.
two.
Yeah, exactly. I think when those 3 Modric, Casemiro, Kroos are on their game, it's game over. Like,
Yeah,
it really
it
is.
was.
And I'm not saying that when Busquets, Iniesta, and Xavi were on their game that it wasn't game over. But also as well, I feel like this 3, Casemiro, Kroos, Modric were together for longer than Busquets, Iniesta, Xavi, because Busquets has been there since a solid 5 or 6 years since Iniesta and Xavi have left, right?
Yeah.
And he's still been great
When
in
did
that
Xavi
time.
retire? Like 2013,
Yeah,
14, something
it's been a
like that?
while,
Like quite
yeah.
early. Like, yeah, he has
Yeah.
retired quite a while ago. So.
So I think as a trio, I'd go the Real Madrid
And the
trio.
5 Champions Leagues is insane. I mean, what Barcelona did, the sextuple with that midfield trio is insane, but that gives you more like a peak feeling than a consistency. Because they did win another Champions League, but 5?
No.
5 is insane,
it's
man. And it doesn't
crazy.
matter that you can say, oh yeah, they had Ronaldo. Well, Xavi
Had
Iniesta Busquets
Messi.
had Messi.
That gets better.
Yeah, so it's not that much different.
Yeah.
Then we start going with this new sudden thing that appeared that, Edin Dzeko scored a great goal in the semifinal of the Champions League.
Yeah.
And now everybody's just decided that Edin Dzeko is the best player of
It's
all
the go.
time.
Yeah.
So we have Dzeko at 37, Ronaldo at 37 comparisons. Of course, Ronaldo at 37, first of all, was not at Al Nassr. He was still in the Prem, scoring 18 goals for a terrible United side. And Dzeko, what are your thoughts on Edin Dzeko being compared with Ronaldo?
I think this is a classic overreaction.
Yeah, scores 1 good goal.
Yeah, but also I do want to say that Dzeko is, I think, one of the most underrated players of his generation. I think he is a great striker, and a pure striker at that. But come on, let's be honest here. Like, I think Ronaldo also offered more as well.
Yeah.
Dzeko is a pure goal scorer, and obviously Ronaldo is a pure goal scorer as well. But even when he was in that United team, he was really good at laying the ball off to his
And
teammates.
Ronaldo was a guy that you could pass the ball into space and he'd reach it, cut through 3 players, put it top corners. Dzeko was never that
He's
guy.
never had that.
No,
No,
never
I
had
think that's that would be like a solid 8 on the deluded scale.
I think it's so deluded. And this one I have is even more deluded,
Let's
in my
hear it.
opinion. And the worst part, not the worst part, but this is a man who works for The Athletic. Like, he works professionally covering football for a very good news source.
big outlet.
He did. I spent 11 or 12 years thinking that Dzeko is at least as good as Lewandowski, in part because he's done it at harder clubs. I was always too scared to tweet it because I thought I'd get shouted at on here, but maybe tonight is the night.
No, you should get shouted at for that.
That
That's
is an
pretty
awful
stupid.
take,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, they're just not on the same level, man.
No,
like, come
no.
on.
Edin Dzeko underrated. I agree with you.
Yeah.
But to compare him to Ronaldo and Lewandowski, two of the best strikers we have seen
Yeah,
ever. Baby.
Dzeko's never been in a Ballon d'Or race in his entire career. Like, he's been consistently good at putting in a consistent amount of decently good goals. You know, that's what he is. And he's played that role at a bunch of different clubs, and he's played it very well. But he's not an elite, world-class level player.
I mean, there's a reason why, like, after City, like, his career didn't fall off a cliff after City. I mean, he's still playing. At this point, he's one game away from playing in a Champions League final at age 37, leading the lineup because Lukaku is awful. Like, it's insane. But to compare him to an all-time great, like, come on, it's nowhere near close. And now let's move on to Phantom D Viper.
Great name. Wow.
So he's a United fan, right? And this was in reply to a tweet I saw earlier today that said that Rashford's injury is much worse than they thought. It's a big injury.
Great.
He tweeted, "Since Rashford stopped delivering, we can't score." Kind of truthful. I give him that.
Yeah.
Which means Ten Hag is getting saved by Rashford. Ten Hag has spent 220 million euros and they have yet to score up to 15 goals.
I don't care how much he's spent. He's had one season.
Yeah.
You cannot expect it. We were in such dire straits when Ole left. And I think the job that Ten Hag has done, we've won a trophy already. So what if
You
it's
could
only
win another one.
We're in another final.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're in 2 domestic cup finals. We're hopefully going to hang on for Champions League football. And so
Do you get Champions League with the FA Cup win? No, right?
No.
I think it's like Europa League or Conference, maybe. Something like
Maybe,
that. But if you're already there, then
yeah.
it gets shoved down or something.
So no, I don't agree with that. I think that's part of the classic overreaction to managers these days. It's you can only do so much with a side in a year. And I think for what it's worth, Ten Hag's done a really good job.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
I think he gets a little bit too harsh. Like, it's almost like, oh, we were so shit, we're expecting nothing. Oh, we actually are pretty decent, we should be winning the league title.
Yeah,
It's like, what?
yeah.
Where do you draw the line
Yeah.
then? Like,
And I think we've also just got unlucky at times this
yeah.
season with injuries as well at this back end of the season.
It's
in
been
a
awful.
squad that's the depth is honestly pretty bad.
The drop off in quality between your starters and your bench is
between
it's bad.
especially at the back and the
Yeah.
front as well. To be
I would
honest,
say
because we've still got all those players on the bench that we know can't perform.
Yeah.
Like we've tried to play them, and then they're not gonna
when it's the
cut it.
60th minute and he sees that Eriksson is absolutely gassed and he's like, well, I guess I have to bring on McTominay. Like,
McTominay or Fred are your options.
That is not a Man United, like, and they've been not too bad, but that is not a Man United like bench option.
No.
This one is a huge L from Paddy Power, the betting company. So they released early payout alert. Liverpool beat Man City 3-1 to win the Community Shield. After that result, we are paying out on Liverpool to win the title already. So people who had bet for this one. So when Liverpool beat City 3-1 in the Community Shield, right, where Haaland missed like 2 sitters and everyone was like, oh my God, what if he sucks? Paddy Power were paying out people who had bet Liverpool to win the league.
How much were they?
I don't know, but I would have totally taken it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, at the start of the season, I had Liverpool
to win it.
I don't know if I had Liverpool to win it, but I had them neck and neck with Man City.
I mean, I had them neck and neck with City too, but
Yeah.
I think like to already be offering people to pay people out to like get out of that bet because we might owe you way more money at the end. Like, think about all the people who are maybe like, you know what? Maybe I will take the payout. Like how much money that they paid out for no reason.
Yeah.
And then the last tweet. Not really a tweet, actually. It's just a picture. It's just an infographic. Like, so we have Rodrigo, Vinicius Jr., and Valverde cost a total of £95 million.
Wait, say again. Rodrigo.
Vinicius and Fede Valverde all cost $95 million. All three of them.
Together.
Mikhailo Mudryk cost 100. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, when you look at Chelsea's spending in general. It's pretty comical viewing. Like it's what do they spend 600 million?
600 million,
Something like that, yeah. And they are a hell of a lot closer to relegate. Yeah, something 650, something like that.
Something like
And
that.
probably, they've already got pre-signings for next season already.
So it's up to like a billion.
Probably a couple hundred million already spent for next season.
Yeah.
They're spending like 3 seasons in advance. No, but like Chelsea are a meme club at the moment, and it's fantastic. I love it, and I can't wait for it to continue next season.
I also think that, like, as insane it is, and Madrid had managed to buy 3 key starters for the next maybe decade for 95 million. When they signed those guys, they were nobodies. Like, they paid a lot of money for Vinicius and they paid a lot of money for Rodrigo, but they were also the only club that was really willing to make that investment on an unknown teenager out of Brazil.
Yeah, I mean, when they signed Vinicius, and even a couple seasons after they signed him, like, oh, what a waste of money. That's what people were saying, right?
Do you remember when, I don't remember how long ago it was, maybe 2 or 3 seasons ago, where there was that game where Vinicius was so bad that Benzema went up to, I think, Valverde and told him, do not pass this guy the ball.
He's playing against us. Yeah.
And now he's, on 23 goals and 21 assists this year?
Yeah, and it's not just the stats with that guy. He's just he's an absolute machine. Like the sauce.
Yes. I love watching him play. Like, I love. And what I told you when we were playing, when we watched a Champions League match, like, City cannot handle, Saka is an amazing dribbler. The City defenders training against Grealish, Foden. We can't handle the Brazilian sauce that like Vinny Jr. and Rodrigo bearing. Like, they were turning our guys inside out.
Yeah.
But last thing, I got an alert on my phone. Quick hot take. It turns out that Nagelsmann is no longer a contender for Tottenham Hotspur. What do you think about that?
I think he's just saved his career there. Like, for real. I understand that you want to work as a manager, but you never want to work for Tottenham Hotspur.
At this moment, though, would you say?
But also, what are Spurs doing in that scenario? Why are they? Did he say no?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. It just suddenly says Nagelsmann now not a contender for Tottenham. I haven't clicked on it. Maybe let's quickly read it, because if it's Spurs,
live news here.
According to the club, the club do not intend to meet. So the club, it's a club choice.
Spurs going in with no manager next season.
No,
honestly, it's not going to matter.
Nuno.
You're not going to win anything. I hope Man United sign Harry Kane. Whatever. You guys are a joke club.
There's no way that Poch goes back. But we can talk about that at some other time. But anyways, that has been Delusional Tweets Part 2. Let us know what you think. Give us your most delusional takes down below. For example, Kevin De Bruyne is the secondary striker. Stop, please. That's stupid.
Kaiser, get some help, man.
That's it, bro. Stop
Get
the
some help.
copium, man. It's not good. But we will see you very soon. Peace.